welcome.
Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Lynn Pelzer. I am the COO at FemCity. And today we have a topic that I was just saying before we got started, how much I love this because it says how to create your avatar, the key to effective marketing. It really, really is. And Sandra's going to tell you all of that because if you don't know who you're talking to, then, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. So, Sandra, I just want to introduce you formally to anyone who's watching because this could be on multiple platforms of people who don't know you from FemCity. Many people do know you inside FemCity already because you've contributed a fair bit to us already. Thank you for that. We always love when you're teaching. But I want to give an actual introduction of who you are. So this is about Sandra. And I have it right here. I'm at my sister's house right now, working today, so it's been kind of a little bit extra fun for me. Okay, there we go. So Sam is a brand marketing strategist, designer, and storytelling expert. That piece I love about you so much, who helps entrepreneurs build impactful brands through her company, Sandra Studio, with a passion for crafting strong brand strategies, designing captivating visuals, and creating content that drives results. Sandra empowers businesses to stand out online and connect with their audience. Based in Puerto Rico, she blends creativity and strategy to boost online visibility and elevate brand presence. And when she's not working with her clients, Sandra enjoys baking, traveling, and exploring new adventures with her husband and her dog. So, Sandra, thank you so much for joining us to do this class today. I am going to hand it over to you to take it away, my dear.
Yes, I enjoy baking so much that I started a second business with it. It has been exciting. That's new. I'm going to be bringing more information on how to market that because that's a product-based business. So how I think about how to create your client avatar for a product-based business is way different than for a service-based business who, like me, is mostly online. So I want to share with everybody here how to create your avatar, the key to effective marketing. I am going to see if I'm able to go in. Can you still see both things? Yes. So what we will cover today, thank you for the introduction. What we will cover today is what a client avatar is. And I know that you're probably like, Sam, I know about this, or I have downloaded a freebie, or I have gone to a workshop, or I have done it on my own because that's what everybody's telling me to do, that I need to create this client avatar, this ideal client, ICA, right? Ideal client avatar. So today I want to define it a little bit different. I also want to talk to you about why it's essential for your business and practical steps to create your client avatar today. So I also want to share with you why this matters, right? Why is it important? Because I feel like sometimes you're told, this is what you should do for your marketing. And you're told by everybody who's a marketing guru, coach, some strategist like me, you need an ideal client, you need this, you need all of this, but why, right? You will avoid the one size fits all, right? This is a trap. Marketing with a clear audience is like shouting into the void. And I was going to put throwing spaghetti at the wall, but I feel like that has been overused. But it's true, right? When we are just creating content for whoever, then we don't really know what to say to them. And we just say, hey, buy this from me. I'm an expert. I've been doing this for 15 years. You should trust me, without creating content that actually speak to that one person who's looking for you in the crowd. So that leads me to the second one, which is stand out in a crowded market. Personalization cuts through the noise. So I think that this is important as well, because we think that there are brands that you see online that speak to you, that you immediately go to that website and you press, even with like, even thinking it, you buy from them because it's like they speak to you, the way that they showcase their content, the way that they speak, the messaging, even the tone that they use is like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. I need to buy from her. So that's why it's important to personalize. If you are the face of your business, it's important. And even if you're not the face of your business, it's important to have somebody that you create that you're selling your offers to. And then the third one is because it boosts your ROI. You're able to focus your time and money on strategies that work. When you actually know who you're speaking to, and I know that you have heard this before, When you know who you're speaking to, you can create better content that converts better. Instead of check mark, I created content today, I'm good to go, right? When you actually create content, and I think it also speaks to the idea that when you understand who you're speaking to, who you're, imagine like you're, you never call somebody on the phone and you don't know who's on the other side. You always know the message that you're going to tell them. You always know what the call is about. You already know how to speak to them to get the message across. And that's what you want, right? When it comes to creating your ideal client. So let me go here to the next one, which is benefits of defining a client avatar. First, better connection. So I want to speak to this a little bit because I feel like after 2020, there's a lot of conversation about better connections online. And I've seen them because we were all baking sourdough bread at the beginning of 2020. At least I was. And it was creating connection online. It was speaking directly to the people who were also going through the same thing that I was going through. And that's what you want to do. You want to become relatable to that audience that's going to buy from you. Stronger brand loyalty, building lasting relationships. I don't believe in this idea of every brand should have like a cult following, and I'm loosely speaking about cult right here, but that word, I think it's very overused in marketing, and I don't think we should give it the light that it's been given. But I do understand that for this context, not every brand should aspire to do that, but I feel like loyal fans is something that for Taylor Swift, for example, I always give her example, has worked really well. So instead of thinking, oh my God, I want them to buy every single thing, how can you cultivate, right, a relationship where they know where you're coming from and they know that this offer fits me because you're speaking to them in their language. Higher conversion rates. Let's talk about this. Marketing is selling, right? And marketing and selling is different, but when you do good marketing, it automatically becomes better selling, like prospects and better numbers at the end of the year. Tailored messaging converts more effectively, and that's the truth. When you really think about the people that you buy from, you think about what they're telling you. You think about the messaging. You think about that narrative that they're conveying. And that's what makes you buy, right? I think that there is this part of us where it's necessity, where it's like, I need to buy this one thing today. Even if you go to Amazon.com and you go and buy something, you don't buy the first one. You do a little bit of research. You look at the graphics, you look at the reviews, you look at what people are putting out there about that specific brand, and then you make an informed decision. And then efficient resource allocation, focus on what resonates with your audience. So that's the other thing. If it's just you who's doing this, if it's just you who's focusing on this business, you have to make sure that you're speaking to the right person, because that way people are going to buy and you're not going to be wasting time and money. So this is the common avatar mistake that I see, and I've seen with previous clients, I've seen with conversations with other marketers, and I've seen online overall. We want to create a perfect customer, perfect ideal, perfect avatar, this person that's ready to buy. So the problem is too often businesses craft avatars based on what they hope their ideal client looks like, ambitious, proactive, and always ready to buy. This leads to messaging that feels disconnected because it's not addressing the reality of their daily lives. Why is this a mistake? Your real customers are imperfect. They're juggling priorities, sometimes skeptical, and often hesitant. If you gloss over their struggles, right, or make assumptions about their motivations, you will miss the mark entirely. So I think that when it comes to creating a client avatar that's going to help you with messaging, you have to stop assuming, and this is what I recommend, you don't have to do anything. I recommend that you stop assuming that they are with a credit card in their hands, because that makes no sense, right? You have to make sure that you're creating an avatar that has those imperfections, because that's who we are as humans. I'm going to continue on this. So there's a reality check to this, right? Your audience doesn't care about your product's features. And that's like the know, like, and trust. Like, they don't care about you. They care about you relating to them. and how they can know you better, like you better, and trust you with their money, with their business. If you're a business to business type of business, they care about how it feels, and they care about how it fits into their messy, complicated lives. They want to feel seen, heard, and understood. And sometimes you will have people that are not into that messy, complicated life, and they're just ready to buy from you. That's amazing. But that's not what happens all the time. Instead of, for example, one of my avatars is Emily. She's a high achieving, person that wants to buy from me, and that she is somebody who's looking for my help. Instead of saying Emily is a high achieving business owner who always ahead of her to-do list. This is so idealistic, right? Try Emily has big dreams but feels overwhelmed balancing her business and family. She's trying to figure out how to scale without burning out. That's real. And you can speak to that in your content. The key takeaway for this mistake that I see often happening is that a great avatar isn't a wish list, isn't something that you're like, right? It isn't a reflection of real people. When you acknowledge their imperfections and meet them where they are, your message will hit home. You will stop selling and start connecting. And what you might be like, wait, I want to sell. But you will stop selling in your marketing. Sales is another big thing about your business. Marketing should create relationship and should be the bridge between whatever it is that they're going through and hitting that button to buy from you. So this is an example exercise. Think about your best customers. What do they struggle with? And I know another buzzword of the marketing community, struggle. What is it that they are experiencing in, right? What are they experiencing right now? What excuses, and I want to change it. I put it here on purpose because these are the words that you see when people are talking to you about marketing, but I always try to flip it. So instead of saying, what do they struggle with? What are their challenges? What is it that they're experiencing right now that it's not the best thing that could be happening for them? What excuses or reasonings do they make? Build your avatar around that person, not an idealized version of them. Because when you know what they're going through, you can speak to how your business can help them. If your avatar doesn't feel real, your marketing will feel hollow. That's true. If you are assuming that everybody can buy from you, right? You're not going to be able to make the conversions that you would like to make because you're assuming that everybody wants to buy from you. So you're not creating the correct content to actually convert. When you nail this, your audience will say, it's like they're talking directly to me. That's when you win. And I wanna speak to that before I go into demographics. Imagine, like, for me, I'm bilingual. So this is gonna be an example that I have experienced in real life. Has nothing to do with my business, but it's essential for visualizing what I wanna share. Sometimes I'm in a crowded room with people who only speak English, right? And all of a sudden, I will hear, and this happened to me recently. I was in a room full of people who only spoke English. And I speak English. I can, I would be fine there. But then I heard this lady speaking on the phone in Spanish. I was immediately attracted to that person because I was like, I want to speak to her. I want to just be her friend. I want to know more about how she ended up in this room. It was a business networking thing. And she was like, you speak Spanish? And we started speaking Spanish. And it was such a great conversation because the language, of course, language and marketing can be messaging, but real language of Spanish was what made me want to know more. And sometimes that's what we need when we create content. We want somebody who speaks our language and we can like source them out in a crowded room. So I want to put that out there because sometimes we're in a crowded room and we might have the right tools. I speak English, right? We might have the right tools to connect with people and to sell them things, but then you really hone in into who you are, right? My first language is Spanish. When I heard her, I was like, oh, this is going to be my friend. Oh, let's talk. So that's what you want people to feel, right? So it might not be English, Spanish, French, whatever, but it's something like that. It's something that it's really going to resonate with somebody when you speak their language, when you know what they're going through, what they need to hear. Okay. Let me go into the next slide. So let's speak demographics. And this is where I lose a lot of people because they're like, why do I have to do this? Demographics are the map. They show you who your audience is and where they are headed, right? With age, income, and location in hand, you will craft messages that resonate, target ads that convert, and design products that actually won. Skip the guesswork, build smarter connections that drive results. So when you're thinking about demographics, think about their age, gender, location, income, education. For example, my Emily is a 35-year-old entrepreneur from Austin earning 80K a year. I add more to this. I always say maybe she's in her third year of business and she has a service-based business and she want to reach out to the local community. So we're going to target, more local stuff. So I imagine this person, this imperfect person who needs my help, and her name is Emily. So that's why you have to put in age, gender, location, income, and education, because you're able to speak to them. You're not going to speak to a 5-year-old the same way that you speak to a 35-year-old, right? Challenges, and this is where a lot of other marketers will tell you that these are their pain points, right? What obstacles are they facing? I don't like to use the word pain points. I think it's oversaturated, and you're going to see a theme with me when you get to know me more. If I see that something is overused, I try to change the narrative so more people like me who feel like, oh, I see pain points all the time, because other business owners know these buzzwords as well. They know the social media post that says, are you struggling with this? They're tired of you telling them that they're struggling with something, right? So rather think of different ways to say the same thing, but different narratives. What obstacles are they facing? We're basically saying, what are your pain points, but we're saying it differently. People don't buy products, they buy solutions to their challenges, right? They buy solutions to their problems. The clearer you are about their struggles, right? About the problems that they're facing, the things that they're experiencing, the easier it is to show them why your offer matters. I'm gonna ask you some questions. What difficulties or frustrations are part of their daily life? When you're imagining this person, what are they going through? How can your product or service make things easier or more efficient for them? Example, my Emily finds it tough to juggle growing her business while managing family responsibilities. What's the type of content that I want to create in the future? Something that helps her manage time within her business, right? One of the things that has worked for me is time blocking. I don't do it all the time, but every other week I'll be really good at time blocking. And that's something that you can speak to in your business that will resonate with somebody, right? They're going to feel like more aligned. This can also be if somebody is a jewelry owner and they are not selling this is a product-based business, for example, and they're not selling, is because they're not speaking to the person who will be wearing their jewelry all the time. So think about that person. If you're a jewelry business owner, and you're like, who will be wearing this? Who is this for? Imagine that person, then speak to them in your content. Define their aspirations. What is it that they want? What is the transformation? What do they dream of? What is the outcome, right, of working with me, right? Aspirations drive decisions. People who are confused, they're not going to buy. When you align your offering with what your audience truly wants, you're not just selling, you're helping them achieve their goals, right? So you are that bridge from where they are at to where they need to go. Understand their short-term and long-term goals. And this is action. This is the thing that you need to look into. Understanding their short-term and long-term goals. How can your products or service help them get there? For example, Emily wants more time for her family while growing a profitable business. Let's say that Emily is a bookkeeper. Understanding their short-term and long-term goals is important. So let's say that she's a bookkeeper and her short-term is to create social media for people who have businesses and need bookkeeping services, right? She needs to know who she's speaking to. So I'm going to help her with that. Long-term goals for Emily is having, for example, recurrent customers, like retainers, right? Every month. So we're going to speak to that in her content. I'm going to come in as a strategist and I'm going to help her create content that speaks to somebody that wants on a monthly basis a bookkeeper. You want to identify their spaces. So where are they right now? Where are they showing up? The best message won't land if it's in the wrong place. I feel like sometimes I like TikTok a lot, right? And I feel like for my business, it has done really well. However, when you're thinking about your audience, they might not be on TikTok. They might be on Facebook. I've been saying this a lot. If you are somebody who thinks about Facebook as They still do really well with groups, Facebook groups. They still do really well with creating community, and that's what your business is about. I will stay on Facebook. If you're more visual, I will stay on Instagram. If you're wanting to do more video, I will stay on TikTok. So first, yes, you need to define where you want to show up, but also understand that your people might not be there, right? So be intentional about where you show up to create a seamless connection. And also, when it comes to social platforms, I want to say this. I have seen people who are in their 70s and 80s creating businesses on TikTok, selling out on TikTok. There is this thing about tumblers now with decoration and sparkle, and there's this lady who creates them and she goes live every single day. So your audience is everywhere. So when I say identify their spaces, it's more for you than for them. If you identify your space and you're like, I'm more comfortable on TikTok, like me, you have to identify where they are, what are they saying on that social media, what are they looking for, right? So it's more looking at the algorithm and how the algorithm works so that you can find them in your spaces. So on one side, yes, if you're really good at this and you're like, I know that they are on Facebook, I know that my community is on Facebook, then stick to Facebook. But if you're somebody who loves TikTok and you're like, I'm going to create a community here, you can also attract them. So it's not only identifying their spaces, but understanding what's more important to you. If you don't care about social media in the sense of like, I don't mind, it can be on any social platforms, then identify where they're at and focus on that social platform. But if it's really important for you, like for me, it's TikTok is where it's at for me, then I really want to create content that's going to attract those few people that are on TikTok. Meet them where they are with tailored messaging. They're everywhere. The thing is creating consistent content so that they can feel aligned with you. So let's say Emily spends her downtime on Instagram and LinkedIn looking for tips and connection. For me, I put LinkedIn because that's where one of the places that I want to be more on. Instagram is not like a place for me, but a lot of people might be looking for business on Instagram because Instagram has become another type of search engine. The same with LinkedIn. The reason why I love TikTok so much for showing up and sharing and attracting clients is because they have become really good with search engine. Okay. Thank you, Yvette. Okay. Bringing your avatar to life. So I want to clarify before I go forward. When you're creating social media content, you can either pick a social platform that you love and create community there, or figure out where your clients should be or they are at and create content there. It all depends how much it's important to you. For me, I don't like Instagram anymore. I know that I should be creating content there. Of course, I think it's cool for businesses, but where I really shine is on TikTok. Where I really shine is through connections and Facebook. So that's where, when it comes to creating an avatar, that part about social media and where you show up, it has to be really tied in with where you like to show up, because if not, you might know that they're on Facebook, but you might not create the content that you need to be creating because you don't feel excited about being on Facebook. Okay, so bring your avatar to life. When your avatar feels real, your marketing becomes laser focused. It's no longer about guessing, it's about speaking directly to the person you want to serve. So I want you to do these things. Give them a name and a face. Build a narrative around their day-to-day life. Meet Emily, right? She's busy, ambitious, seeking solutions to streamline her life, right? So imagine them, create them, and then in your content, you're going to speak to them. So I'm going to put this all together into action. And I know that this is just half an hour that you're with me. So if you have any more questions, please message me. But I want to give you a couple of things that I want you to write down, right? You can take a screenshot right now, write down so that you can get started with this new person that you're selling to. The idea is that you understand where they're at so that you can create the content that you need to create. Think about when I share this with clients or with people, or because I talk to everybody about business, I always say, if you have a friend who's going through something right now, you first have to understand what they're going through or have an idea of what they might be going through, right? And then you pick up that phone and you already know what they're going to tell them. You're already there to listen to them. You're already there to give them some advice. And that's what you want with your clients. You first have to know the problem to really be there for them and sell them in the future, right? Give them a name and write a 1-sentence bio. What's one specific challenge your audience faces daily? You don't have to do audience because I feel like it broadens, right? And it makes you feel like, oh, everybody. Think of that one person, but it can also be just audience. What's one specific challenge, problem, thing that they're going through right now that has to do with your business, right? It has to align with your business. What's one goal they want to hit in the next 3 months? What's something that they want to accomplish, right? Where are they most active online? And then this one goes hand in hand with, yes, we can find people everywhere, but if we have to also like that platform, because if not, you're not going to show up. I'm going to be honest with you. You're not going to show up. I did that for Instagram, and I know that I need to show up, but it's just not my place. So even if my clients are there, I try to find them and create community elsewhere. This isn't just busy work. This isn't just for you to write it down. This is to help you with your content. This is not something that you put in as an exercise and you feel like I have done 8 hours of work today because I figured out my client avatar. This is to better your content, to better your marketing. It's the core of every successful marketing strategy. If you know who you're speaking to, that you can sell better. Start with clarity today and watch your content click with the right people. I want you to understand this because I need you to look into your business and figure out, and this can also be something that I had not mentioned before we finish here. This can also be your previous clients doing market research with them. What were you going through before you worked with me? I want to know more about that. Where were you at? How did I help you? Having those conversations with previous clients that you trust can help you create better content in the future, right? So that's everything that I have, I believe. Yep, that's everything that I have. My name is Sandra. You can find me at SandraLand everywhere. And my email is Sandra with an M at sandraland.com. I'm going to stop sharing this, and hopefully Lynn is there with me. There you go. So that we can just, if you guys have any questions, I would love to listen to them and just answer them if there's any questions. Thank you, Yvette. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Laura.
You're getting some love, Sam. That's great.
Thank you.
If anyone wants to post a question there, please go ahead, Sam. I want to say a couple things. I am so thrilled that you taught that. I know I've been saying this, and thank you for adding. I was going to say to add your email there, because there may be some people hearing this that are outside of FemCity. So FemCity is brand new to them, and they're seeing it somewhere. So it's Sandra, S-A-M, at sandraland.com.
Yes.
So send her over an email if you want to connect with this beautiful soul. My gosh, the avatar is so important. I just want to say that. And you did such a beautiful job of helping people really, really see it exactly how when it clicked to me many years ago, when I was selling actually a product-based business. I was like, I got taught about an avatar, and not as beautifully as what you just did, but it really made a difference because it gave me the confidence to share content, because I was just filtering it through Pam, right? Like Pam was her name, and was this her, if she was reading this, what would she think?
Exactly.
What time of day was she up, and where was she going? What was she doing? Like, so going through all of that, oh my gosh, this was good. So if you watch it again, and then creating your avatar.
I definitely feel like when it comes to creating your avatar, we have this idea that it's that one person, right? When I do, for example, Emily is one of my avatars for my business. I speak to her as if she was FaceTiming me when I'm creating content. So I used to do a lot of generalized, hey, you all, hey, this. And now I do, hey, you, how are you? You speak to that one person that you use a lot of yous and a lot of I's, so that it's a conversation, because we think that when we're posting or creating a video and we're doing a video that we're speaking to 1,000 people at once, and you're speaking to just one person on the other side of the phone. And we have to realize that when we're creating content, because it can become overwhelming when we're thinking, oh, I'm speaking to too many people. They're not going to get me. I have to over explain. And it's because we're thinking of this is going to reach out to 1,000 people instead of that one person at a time. And I think that there's a difference in that.
That's a really beautiful explanation. Thank you for that. Okay, so we got some great comments, and I don't see any other questions at the moment because you did such a great job explaining it. Thank you, Sam. Really
Thank you so much.
Giving your time and your expertise to us as often as you do. And everyone, I suggest, hey, share this. If you're seeing this somewhere, share it with a friend. Reach out to Sam and watch it again and sort of go through some things and make some notes for yourself to get working on your avatar.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Bye. Thanks for joining us.